What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. Now, the video that I'm going to be showing you guys today, not this little section, the part that's coming up, is going to be recorded, or it was recorded last week. It was recorded when the mini motor was just pulled out of the engine bay. Now, I got a little bit of stuff done, and you guys will see in this video what exactly I did. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. So in the last video, you guys saw that the Mini Cooper got its motor pulled from it, and that's wicked. It's sitting right there, and I'm gonna be working on that probably sometime later today. But today, in the meantime, I have something else going on. So I live in Canada, and where I live, it gets quite cold. So I purchased a propane tank and a forced air propane heater. It puts out 35,000 BTUs, and it does get my garage nice and warm. However, there's one disadvantage with that system. So because it runs on propane, it's not the most clean air in the world. So if you're using it for, let's say, an hour, you're using it on full blast, it's fine. But if you're gonna use it for an extensive period of time, the quality of air somewhat diminishes, especially if you have a sealed up garage. If you have even a garage that has a couple cracks and crevices in it so that some of the air can escape, it will be better, but it's still not the best. Now, in an ideal world, I think a natural gas heater would be killer. But if you're like me and you're working with a garage or whatever, and you can't exactly go with that route, not only because it's really expensive, but for other reasons too, I have something else. So I did a little bit of researching, and I wanted to find another option that would get me by so I could warm up my close to 700 square foot garage. It's, what do you call that? 10 feet tall, maybe 8 feet tall. This section here, it's that height, and I wanted to get this so that it's not minus a billion inside the garage, but I'm not looking to get it up to 30 degrees Celsius. I'm just looking for something so that it will get somewhat warm in here, so I'm not gonna be freezing my butt off while I work on something in the winter, whether it be the Mini, whether it be the motor, whether it be whatever. So I did a little bit of researching, and I found this company called Newair, and I picked up their electric hardwired garage heater. Now, this thing does not run on 110, it runs on 220. So I need to pull a line from the breaker box that's inside the house and run it to the garage. Now, I work on cars, I don't work on houses. So I have one of my dad's buddies who's an electrician, and he's gonna wire the thing up for me. So a 220 volt heater, it's 5,000 watts. I'll go a little more into the details later, but I have an electrician friend coming over, and he's gonna be mounting this thing in the garage and installing it for me. Now, you can install it on the ceiling, you can install it on the wall. There's many different ways that you can install it. And if you wanna look into the details, you guys can pick one up, and there's gonna be everything that you need in the owner's manual. But in the meantime, yeah, I'm gonna be making this place from 4 degrees inside the garage to hopefully something a little bit warmer. So let's get to it. So this here is the heater itself. This is the G73 hardwired electric garage heater. These here are the brackets that come with the heater, and you can either set it up if you want to have it ceiling mounted or wall mounted. It comes with both brackets and all the hardware that you need to get exactly that done. In the owner's manual, it tells you how to mount all the stuff up, along with all the safety precautions and everything else for that matter. Now, the install isn't too difficult. So from what I saw, all that Al did was he ran the hardwire all the way from the breaker box through the ceiling attic up into this little line right here. Now, this little box right here is where the wire is going to be fed into, and then the wire's connected from the heater up to that little box. Now, I'm no electrician, I'm no professional, but that is basically what I saw. Now, I'm not going to tackle this myself, and I don't advise you guys to, because playing with electricity is not fun, especially when you're dealing with that much. So this heater right here draws 22 amps. It's a 5,000 watt heater, and it seems to be pretty good. The installation wasn't that difficult. With simple tools, you can get this thing done. Now, if you are pretty familiar with electricity, and you're an electrician, or even you're pretty competent for that matter, you probably could do all of this yourself. Now, since I wasn't, and I can't do that myself, this is where I watch, I learn, and I get the professional to do it. So as soon as you have the wall bracket or the ceiling mount in place, you can install the heater up to the actual mechanism, up to the bracket that attaches to it. Now, you can change the angle of how the heater is. So the entire heater, you can change the angle of it up and down, and also at the end of the heater, there are fins that you can direct up and down to change where you want the heat to go to. So this thing is very versatile. You can turn it, you can put it wherever you want. Now, ideally, Ideally, you do want to have this a couple feet away from a wall so that air can actually be fed from the back of it and be pulled forward. And you also want to kind of have it on the side of a room so that you can kind of have it so that the air will circulate and spin around, kind of like a little vortex. Now, it's not going to be fast by any means, but you do want to have the air circulating so everything in the garage will be nice and warm. So we have one light found here and another one found here. The light inside the garage isn't that bad, but we're gonna be upgrading it, so we're gonna have an additional 2 lights found in between both the garage doors, one found here in line with this guy, and another one back there. So we've got 2 light fixtures coming in. They're getting hardwired into the ceiling. The light fixtures themselves are 4100 Kelvin. So that means that the bulb that is in here that's going to be emitting light is a light that's very similar to daylight. So it's gonna be a kind of on the yellow side light that you're seeing right here. Why am I smiling? Because in almost this entire part of this little video that I'm shooting right here, look, I'm still lit up. We have more lights. I'm pumped. We have heat. It's warm in here. It's not super warm. It's not 30 degrees t-shirt and shorts weather, but it's 13 Celsius. And that's not half bad considering how cold it is outside. When I came back from my car, it said it was minus 17. So considering it's that temperature difference in here, I am not complaining at all. So we've got our little Newair heater on the top of the garage. It's pointing down a little bit so the heat will be pushed down, hopefully, and circulates the air that's down here. Now, I can't complain, and I'm super pumped about it because we got the electrician to come by. He was able to wire that up. It did take a little bit of time because he had to run the wires that are from the breaker that are in the basement up. How did he do it? Into here, into this plug, went up into the attic of the garage, went up, around, over, and then came down. Now, he's got it hardwired up into the wall. He's got it hardwired in place right there. And what he also did was he put a 220 line and extended it down here. So should I ever want to have another 220 volts, whatever, I can do that and I can hook it up to it. We're gonna get a 220 volt outlet instead of the regular 110s, hook it up there. So as long as the heater is not going, I'll be able to use a heater or a larger air compressor or anything else that is running a 220 volt power supply to it. So with that done, we've got our heater in there. Now on the back side of the heater, there's a thermostat. So this is it right here. You can angle these fins up and down however you like to make life a little bit easier, to point the air in the right direction. Now, if we come to the back side of it, there's gonna be your power source down here in the back, and then just in the center of it, right here, my finger is on a little knob, and that's a potentiometer, and it controls how long the thermostat is on for. So if you want to set the thermostat up and keep it to about 20 degrees Celsius, you'd set it to a certain dial. Once it gets up to that 20 degrees, it's going to shut off. And once it drops down to a lower threshold, I'm guessing around like 18 degrees, I'm not sure what the threshold is, but then it'll kick it back on and heat up everything back into the garage until it gets to 20. Now, I don't have it set that high because it's going to be drawing a lot of power. As long as I can have it so it's breaking the chill and I don't necessarily need to use that heater, I'll be good, because the heat that's coming out of that is a forced air heat, so that means that the air is coming out of it and it's being pushed out. But the best part about it is the fact that it's not polluted. I'm not burning off any gases. I'm using a heating element, like a heating coil, kind of like the top of an old stove, with a fan on the back of it, and it's pushing all of that air forward. So I have the air itself that's getting heated up. So I'm pretty pumped about it. It's working pretty good. We had it set up and turned on all the way. I had it up to 17.7 degrees inside of here. Now it's like pretty much taking your sweater off and just working in a t-shirt weather. But I don't need it that warm. Now what that means is the next little bit of cold weather that we're gonna be getting, I'm not gonna be freezing my butt off. I can work in here, I can work on the Mini, I can work on the Mini motor, and life is gonna be good. So I'm super thankful for that. If you guys wanna check out the heater that I have, it's definitely worth it. I don't think I'll be using the propane heater, probably as much as that. Maybe I might use that just to get the temperature up in here to like whatever, a normal temperature, like 10 degrees, and then shut that off and then turn that guy on. So what I can do is I can use the propane heater to get the garage up to a decent temperature so that that doesn't have to struggle and use so much power to get the garage up to temperature. So since I can use that to supplement the heat, I can use that as like a backup and just to maintain that temperature. But after day one, I say that this thing is a pretty damn good heater. I'm really happy with it. Okay, so 1 week later, we've got these lights in here, we've got our awesome heater inside here. Now, what I have noticed is that you can keep the garage to basically whatever temperature you want, but it is kind of dependent on how much electricity you want to use. So just like the propane heater, you can make this place an oven, but keep in mind that you'll be using a little bit more propane to keep it at that temperature. And the same thing kind of goes for the electric heater. Now, I only have it at 11 degrees in here now, and it's not super warm that I can go to the point and not have a sweater on, or even my Under Armour shirt underneath, but it's still nice enough that it's, you know, not freezing cold in here. So it's nice that you can work inside this garage, even though it's, let's say, minus, what is it today? I think it was minus 11. So that big difference, that temperature difference is huge, because if I was working outside on whatever, I'd be freezing my butt off. But thankfully, I've got that little heater. So what can I say to you guys? It runs on a thermostat, so if it detects that it's getting up to the upper threshold, it's going to shut off. It doesn't have a potentiometer where it just changes how much heat the element inside the heater gets. It just changes how long it's on and how long it's off for. So when it gets too low, the thermostat kicks the heater back on, and then it gets it up to nice temperatures in here. Now, I am really pumped about it because it's a clean air. I'm not using my propane heater anymore, and it's really nice. I can't complain. If you guys want to pick up the heater, you guys can check for a link in the description box. And I even contacted the company, and I was able to get you guys a $50 off coupon for that guy. All you have to do is use the code Milan in your checkout, and you get 50 bucks off your purchase. Now, for the lights, unfortunately, just what they are is what you get. They're 4,300 Kelvin bulbs, and if you guys want some, you guys again can check the description box. I wasn't able to get a discount for you guys for that, but the heater is by far the best addition to this garage. Like, I can work in here in the winter and I'm not complaining, I'm not freezing. Like, do you see anything? Me neither. It's sick. So I'm gonna get back to work on the Mini. I'm gonna get this build going, and because of that heater, I can work in here and not freeze my butt off. So next up comes disassembling everything on the, what is that? The front side of the motor. So we're gonna disassemble the motor, get it all stripped out, but thanks to that heater, I'm not freezing my butt. If you guys have any questions regarding the video, or even questions regarding the install for that thing for that matter, throw them down in the comment section below, and I'd be more than happy to help. Again guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.